Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Actions have consequences. We all know that. Eat too much, you get fat. Drive the car at high speeds, and you may have an accident. Be mean to others, and they'll be mean to you. In this cause and effect writing task, you need to understand both about climate change and cause and effect language. To write a good cause and effect essay about climate change, you need to understand a bit about both. In this video, I will explain climate change in simple terms and show you how to write about it using clear cause and effect language. Your task is to describe the human causes of climate change and the effects that climate change will have on the planet. In the exam, you will see an introduction and a conclusion. Your job is to write about the causes and the effects that climate change have on planet Earth. Very simply, the way to understand cause and effect language in the active tense is as follows. A equals B. I eat a lot of sugar, I become overweight. Likewise, we can use simple cause and effect language. A causes B. Cause here is the verb. For example, driving too fast causes accidents. Likewise, A results in B. Helping other people results in them liking you more. A leads to B. Daily study and language practice leads to exam success. Another way to write about cause and effect is to use the passive tense. It is more difficult to use. However, in this case, we start with the effect and show the cause. B equals A. In the example, being overweight is caused by eating a lot of sugar. We may also say due to. B due to A. The effect and the cause. Accidents are due to a result of driving too fast. We may also use leads to. However, we cannot use this verb in the passive tense. So we tend to use this verb or another verb, another regular verb. And in the examples, exam success is due to study and language practice. Exam success is achieved through study and language practice. So we use cause and effect language in the active tense and in the passive tense. As you plan your essay on the causes and effects of climate change, you should begin with a cause and effect chain. In the next section, we'll look at a cause and effect chain and how to use it. So we know from our study of climate change that the main causes are burning fossil fuels and deforestation. Burning fossil fuels and deforestation causes more CO2. This results in high temperatures. High temperatures cause glaciers to melt. Melting glaciers results in rising sea levels. As sea levels rise, coastal areas flood. This results in habitat destruction and a number of human health problems. So we can see in this chain of events, we begin with the 2 or 3 main causes, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 main effects, which themselves are also causes. And that's important to remember. An effect is also a cause, and you'll see this more clearly as we write the essay. So now let's use the cause and effect chain in language form using the active tense. And here we itemize the chain of cause and effects into paragraphs. Paragraphs A, B, C and D. In paragraph A, we talk about the causes, fossil fuels and deforestation, resulting in higher levels of CO2. Then in paragraph B, higher levels of CO2 cause higher temperatures. In paragraph C, higher temperatures lead to melting glaciers and rising sea levels. Paragraph D, rising sea levels result in flooding, habitat destruction, and many human health problems. So let's read through the 4 paragraphs and see examples of cause and effect on climate change using active tense. Paragraph A, fossil fuels and deforestation, CO2. People burning fossil fuels causes increased CO2 in the air. For example, this happens when people drive cars and manufacture products in factories. Deforestation, cutting down forests, also produces higher levels of CO2 in the air. Higher levels of CO2 lead to higher temperatures. Then this CO2 and other gases rise into the atmosphere. This action results in increased temperatures about 1 to 2 degrees centigrade. As world temperatures rise, glaciers and ice blocks melt, causing rising sea levels. And we write about it in this way. Higher temperatures, 1 to 2 degrees centigrade, cause ice and glaciers to melt, and as a result, sea levels rise. In paragraph D, we deal with the new causes of rising sea levels, the effect of flooding, habitat destruction, and human health problems. Finally, extreme weather and coastal flooding occur, leading to the destruction of land, animal habitats, and human health problems. Using the same cause and effect chain, we can summarize it in the passive tense or the passive voice. It is more difficult to use, but it is okay in scientific essays and reports. Let's read it quickly. Fossil fuels and deforestation, CO2. Increased CO2 is caused by people burning fossil fuels. For example, it occurs when people drive cars and manufacture products in factories. Also, higher CO2 levels are a result of deforestation, cutting down trees. Paragraph B, CO2, high temperatures. Then CO2 rises into the atmosphere. Increasing atmospheric temperature, 1 to 2 degrees C, are due to ever higher levels of CO2 and other gases. Paragraph C, temperatures, melting glaciers and rising sea levels. Melting ice and glaciers are caused by higher temperatures, 1 to 2 degrees C. This in turn causes sea levels to rise. Paragraph D, sea levels, flooding, habitat destruction, human health problems. The destruction of land, homes, animal habitats is a result of extreme weather and coastal flooding, which eventually leads to human health problems. So here is a summary of climate change, cause and effect, language using mostly the passive voice. The language is more complex, it's more difficult to use. I recommend you stay with the active voice and write 1 or 2 sentences in the passive voice in your essay. Now let's write a complete essay using a mix of active and passive voices in our text, adding a few examples with topic sentences and closing sentences. Remember, in the exam you have the introduction, you have the conclusion ready-made. You do not need to write that. You simply write 2 paragraphs, one explaining the main causes and the second the main effects. In the introduction we are given, the last sentence tells us the climate changes we are seeing today are caused by human activities, especially, and these activities are having a serious negative effects on our planet. After this we write the causes, which are the human activities, and the serious negative effects that will appear in the second paragraph. So we organize our first paragraph, the causes, in 3 causes. First cause, the first effect, fossil fuels, deforestation, CO2. The second cause, CO2, giving rise to higher temperatures. The third cause, higher temperatures, giving cause to the effects, melting ice and rising sea levels. So in our completed paragraph, looking at the 3 main causes, we begin with a topic sentence. Climate change has 3 important causes. First, people burn fossil fuels by driving cars and manufacturing products in factories. These activities cause CO2 levels to increase in the air. I'll give an example here of the supporting sentence. Also, massive deforestation, cutting down trees, contributes to higher CO2 levels. For example, every day in Brazil, logging reduces tree numbers greatly. Secondly, CO2 and other waste gases rise into the atmosphere. This action leads to an increase in world temperatures by 1 to 2 degrees Celsius, causing global warming. Thirdly, the higher temperatures make glaciers and ice floes melt in the Arctic Circle. And we finish the paragraph using a closing sentence. These are the main causes of climate change. Let's quickly analyze the paragraph. A topic sentence, a closing sentence, 3 supporting sentences, a few facts and examples to illustrate or to show or to support the supporting sentences, and language, cause, contribute to, leads to, make. This is the passive, the active voice for cause and effect language. In paragraph 2 we consider the effects. We begin with the effect and then look at the cause. So effect 1, rising sea levels, is caused by melting ice and melting glaciers. The second effect, flooding of coastal towns and coastal areas, is a result of the rise of sea levels. And the third effect, the destruction of habitat, health problems, is caused by flooding, coastal flooding. So in this third paragraph we deal with the effects. Now let's write about the main effects, the three main effects, and here we will use a mix of active voice and the passive voice. The causes of climate change have a series or a number of negative effects. To begin, rises in sea levels 5 centimeters are caused by melting ice in the Arctic region. As the ice blocks melt, polar bears and other species increasingly lose their habitats. Next, storms and high tides result in flooding in coastal towns and cities. Entire living areas go underwater and communities get destroyed. Finally, flooded coastal areas lead to the destruction of natural ecosystems, coral reefs, mangroves, forest habitats, and precious animal life. Human health is also affected as pollen dust increases. Closing sentence, these are the main effects of climate change. Let's analyze this text, the effects. We have a topic sentence showing we are going to talk about negative effects. We have a closing sentence telling that we dealt with the main effects. We have three supporting sentences, 1, 2, 3. We have factual examples here, and we also use language, some of which is in the passive voice. This is the active voice, this is the passive voice, active voice, passive voice, so a mix of cause and effect language both in the passive, the active and in the passive voices. In conclusion, here we have two paragraphs. The first paragraph deals with the causes of climate change, and the second paragraph the main serious effects of climate change. And thank you very much for your time. My name is Mohammed Francis. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.